Well, it seems like EA just can't stop saying sorry about FC25. Again, today we're getting more little bits of news that EA keeps saying they're admitting mistakes and they'll fix them for next year. FC26 news is actually heating up today a little bit, even though 3/4 of it is bullshit. But we'll get into all of that here in a sec. We've got some Serie A TOTS SBCs, and they're once again, like Bundesliga, good. Maybe even you could say better than good, but they're not to the insane level maybe some of us would hope. Some really nice players in there, but nothing to the Hullet level or anything like that. I actually called one of the players that we're going to see as an SBC today. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount in yesterday's video. But yeah, we'll get into everything that we need to get into today. And thank you all for joining and being here. Subscribe if you are new. And today we did get that Teo evolution, 50,000 coins for the Alpine wall. Looks very good. If you have future stars, Lewis Hall as a left back still, he fits in there, so that's nice. And some other nice left backs in here as well that you can turn into a center back. So that's a nice Evo today. And this is the thing with content right now that we'll get into with the leaks and stuff too. That obviously we've gone over this stuff kind of to death, right? We've talked about this plenty, how cards right now just aren't interesting because they're really not that special. And I think that's because of the power curve being the way that it's been this year, right? And obviously this 93 plus Encore icon pick refresh today. I do think that this is going to be what the content is until like futties maybe. I shouldn't say that. Whatever promo is next after team of the season would be my guess. I don't think it's going to be futties. Usually we get kind of something in between there. I think we're not going to see anything really crazy until then at this point, now that we're getting Serie A leaks and maybe they start to change something up here. But I thought we'd already see a repeatable team of the season pick, considering we saw a repeatable icon pick very early on this year. And there's so many TOTS cards that are not very good that I feel like you could do that. And that would be something that you could continuously at least do on the game. And I just, every single day I sit here and I'm just continuously surprised, right? Because EA planned this stuff out a while ago and I don't think they foresaw our boredom. I don't think they foresaw this stuff. And this is just content stuff, not even talking about gameplay, right? We're not even getting into that right now. And going back to the matchmaking stuff too, we talked about yesterday, I was seeing some theories out there that like maybe we got like, you know, the dead internet theory where the internet is filled with bots and it's a lot less actual people than we realize. Some people were saying that there's AIs and div rivals right now playing each other, or playing against you, I should say. There's some crazy theories out there, but I was surprised how many people were actually in on the no, I think it's bugged and not just like the lack of player count. So I don't know. But the more we hear about that, we'll keep talking about it and bringing it up in our videos and stuff, but we have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna start with the content first before we get into the EA stuff here. We got Dybala SBC. I actually called this one yesterday if you were here for that video. It will be an SBC or an objective, so there's a chance, of course, that he could be like the cup player if they decide to make 1 cup a week, which would be something that at least would be better than what we've had so far. I would lean towards no because we just got Javi Simons last week, who is also a cam, and they play very similar positions, obviously. So I would assume he'll be an SBC, and these are his official stats here. He's got technical, finesse, and pinged, and the stats are, you know, good on him for sure. And this is the problem, I think. It's just a power curve problem. At this point, it's not even the SBCs themselves, because we got Dybala, a really popular right back we're about to go see in this team of the season that's an SBC. Like, really, it's a power curve issue. We thought it was a player selection issue during Prem team of the season, but really at this point, it is actually just an evolution mixed with cards and packs power curve situation, I think, is what we're actually in here. Because Dybala was leaked to be in the team, and it's like, he looks pretty damn good, but is he gonna make your team? Like, does he make your team? For me, I actually think he might make my team. I run cams. Dybala is very good in game 2. He kind of has those like hidden stats that some players have, or seemingly have, obviously. But anyway, the point is, like, I think this SBC would be more hyped in previous years without this power issue. And then the next SBC that we've got leaked here is Denzel Dumfries, who's like one of the best right backs in the game, if not the best bruiser intercept. He's also 94 rated, which means you can put anticipate plus on him, or, you know, tiki talk or whatever you want to put, but probably anticipate plus. So that's awesome to see. And this is why it's like, especially with these stats here, 96 pace, 97 physical. This is an insane card. And even this, you were seeing some replies where it's like, does he replace Thuram? Maybe. And it's like, I think that is partly our problem. Like, we just want the best shit constantly, and if it's not the best, then, you know, we hate the content. That's a part of the community out there. But part of it obviously is the quickness in cards getting crazy stats this year. But this Dumfries is going to be sick. Okay, I'm not ready to play against this Dumfries card on a weekly basis. This card's going to be insane. And AC actually tweeted out too, saying Serie A SBCs equals dead. And it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, we have Dybala and Dumfries. I don't think you can say that's dead. I don't think that's definitely not that. But I think this kind of tweet right here showcases the issue we have right now, where it is partly us that just wants the best shit and like only the best cards to drop, but also we want it to be somewhat interesting. I think these two cards are interesting enough to like make them better than what we've kind of had so far, honestly. Unless Dybala's in the objective, which that would kind of suck. Or Dumfries, I guess, could be in the objective too, which is a possibility. But yeah, I don't know what you think about this tweet here. Is it true that like, yeah, we haven't had that Hullet level SBC in, well, since Hullet probably in a month or so? And because of that, does that make this worse and this tweet kind of more justified then? I could maybe see that. But the problem is like when EA sees this and Dumfries, which are good cards, like definitely will fit in people's teams, and people say, oh, it's dead anyway, that's when EA are going to sit there and be like, okay, we can't please anybody. But at the same time, this power curve is their mistake. So it kind of goes both ways, I suppose. And okay, we got this SBC next too, though, not a Serie A TOTS SBC. We do have a Kabi Mainu Road to the Final SBC off of just one game. But official stats and playstyle pluses here: anticipate, tiki-taka, and intercept, with some really nice stats there. Actually, only 85 defending. The stats could be a little bit better, I suppose, if I was to nitpick. But I want to say with the upgrade with the Europa League final, I'm assuming he'll get a 4th playstyle plus, maybe a stat upgrade too. So we'll see what actually it looks like when it comes out. But Man United fans will definitely be excited to see this card here. But okay, moving on here, we got more leaks and stuff. We've got firstly here Sophia Smith and, well, not Sophia Smith, I'm sorry, Sophia Wilson and Trinity Rodman are both going to get NWSL Team of the Season cards. So everyone's, I mean, those are probably the two of the favorite women's attackers in this game. Will both be getting Team of the Seasons, and they're both going to be insane. Stats were just a prediction there. And then we got one more SBC here as well. It's Lautaro Martinez. Will not be in main Team of the Season, but coming as a Moments SBC, Finesse, Technical, and Quick Step. So 3 borderline S tier playstyles. Only 91 pace on him, but slap a Hunter and he looks like he'll be a pretty good card there. But that's all the SBCs that are leaked, I think, right now. Is there one more here? Let me check quick. Yes, right here. Nuno Tavares SBC. So a left back SBC there in the Serie A. Dybala, Dumfries, Nuno Tavares, and Lautaro Martinez are our 4 SBCs that we have leaked, plus the Kabi Mainu. And the names in here, we do have Christian Pulisic. He's confirmed to make Team of the Season. DeMarco, Retegui, and Bastoni are in there. We've got some more rest of world guys. Vanaken, Maeda makes it in there. I'm excited to see what that rest of Europe Team of the Season looks like. I don't know. I want to be optimistic towards some things being released right now, but it feels like right now this might be, you know, let me know if I'm faded in this, but it feels like I'm pulling teeth to try and find things that I'm like, man, I'm really excited for this. Like Shaqiri Tots. I'm excited for Shaqiri Tots. Like, what am I craving, looking forward to, like some years in Team of the Season? Not really anything. Like, that's like, things are cool here. Cool, okay, and that's kind of where it ends, and that's the issue right now. And don't worry, EA can't stop apologizing for what happened this year. Well, to their shareholders, not to us, of course. But once again, Mateus Gamer, who is like the guy when it comes to things EA news related here, he says EA told its shareholders it would try to avoid repeating FC25's issues, player retention in previous games, and slow transitions. They said they would seek ways to show players the value of transitioning to FC26, aka holy shit, the pre-order bonuses are about to be fucking insane. Now, we're getting this bit of news today, right? And I wasn't sure if this was just like him regurgitating stuff from the old article we saw like a week or so ago, where they kind of admitted, they were like, hey, we're trying not to make the same mistakes we did last year. We want to make gameplay better and faster and listen to our hardcore cohort, if you remember talking about that. I wasn't sure if that was just what this was, and then it wouldn't be really news, but then there was a bunch of other stuff that came out today, and keep in mind, take a wild guess of who it's from. Yeah, you knew it. Here you go. There's 2 tweets here. This one I'm more inclined to kind of believe, and the second one I'm not inclined to believe, and let's see. So he says, in a meeting with investors, EA promised a revolution in FC26 after the failure of FC25. So maybe there was like an investors meeting today or something like that, and that's where this piece of information came from today. He says the company's focused on delivering an extraordinary experience and developing aggressive audience retention plans. Hey, maybe that's engagement optimized matchmaking's music, and that's why it feels like that right now. I'm not really sure, but this one is like, okay, fraud zone tweets, we know they're most of the time like, hey, what's your source, bro? No, I made this shit up, right? That's what we expect. But combining the Mateus Gamer news, this one might be legit here, and then this second one, I'm not believing for a second. So let's look at this one. It's the most viral one, of course, as well. It was easily the most viral tweet regarding FC today, and he says EA are aware of declining player numbers. They are planning something huge for FC26 to retain players, and I guarantee you this is something that that I don't think he has any idea about this. This is one of those tweets that he's hoping would just do numbers, and it did, right? Because he has a lot of followers on Twitter. Once again, I've tried to reach out to Fraud Zone multiple times to say like, hey, what are your sources? Like, I'm not going to tell anybody. Like, just do you have sources? No, this guy does not have any. So this tweet I think is just pure speculation, nothing else besides that. But this one up here, I think there might have actually been some sort of maybe investors meeting today where EA once again discussed the whole, hey, you know, just don't worry, we'll be better next year. It's like, what happened this year? This year really was, I mean, I don't know if this was bound to happen eventually when they just haven't cared that much, but it's funny how much they keep talking about next year when it's like, okay, we'll see. I mean, you're really banking on, yeah, next year being a lot better than this one, because it feels like right now you've taken your foot off the gas pedal on this game and you're not even on the gas. It's not like you're coasting, you're on the brakes. Like, this game is coming to a close here almost, like you really don't give a shit. So I'm not sure, but it does feel like EA keep admitting, they're like, hey, please, we won't make the same mistake again. It's like, okay, I mean, I hope so. I'm not rooting on the downfall here. I hope you do make it better. I just don't believe you until we see it. Actually, yeah, I take that back. I kind of am rooting on their downfall. I kind of always have, but I do want a good game. So in that case, I guess I'm technically not rooting on their downfall at all. But yeah, we've already got the FC26 gold concept designs with transfers: Grimaldo to Real Madrid, Frimpong to Liverpool, possibly Trent to Real Madrid, Florian Wirtz to Man City, right? We're already getting the concepts. People are, you know, it's May. Usually this is like a July thing. Nope, we're in May. We already got the concepts going. People are like, man, get me the hell on to FC26, which is kind of hilarious. But yes, we do actually already have the cards for Shaqiri and Retegui, I'm assuming, and then right here, Sophia Wilson as well. They juiced out this card. So Retegui's going to have low driven, first touch, pinged, and finesse with crazy stats, 5-5. Shaqiri has crazy playstyle, pluses and 5-5 as well. And Sophia Wilson, you're probably not going to be able to afford that card. But I always like to see them give out, even if it's not the most hyped up player, if a player does really well in the league this year, like Retegui did, give him the craziest card. And it looks like they're going to do that. So I'm happy about that. But I think this is the first time maybe in, I don't know, a few weeks that I'm genuinely excited to try a card out, and that's Shaqiri. I'm actually excited to try him out. And I do want to also say, partly with that Fraud Zone tweet, I do partly believe that because this was FIFA Trade Brazil tweeted this out. I have seen him tweet some stuff before about EA's a big YouTuber, and he said the exact same thing basically that Fraud Zone said. So that's partly also why I believe that first tweet there. I wanted to throw that out there too. I think there might have been some sort of meeting today and they talked about it and apologized some more. You know, we won't go over it again here, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, of course, in the comments. But okay, let's look at the market now. Okay, let's read you guys' comments now. We have got D Doza, who talks about matchmaking again. And this was the thing that was kind of surprising to me, is that most people said like Division Rivals was what was hard. Like, for example, he says, I'm a Div 2 player. In Div 5, I couldn't get a win, yet I speed ran 9 wins in Champs. That's where it's weird to me, because you'd expect FUT Champs to also be hard if it was a player count thing, right? You'd assume it's just Sweats left, so you have Division Rivals and FUT Champs. The Sweats are probably playing both, and you'd expect both to be harder, not just one of them. That's why there is maybe some room here for some engagement optimized matchmaking. I want to say, if it's player retention stuff and they're really worried about player retention, this would be something that they could do. Other games have done this. It's made COD multiplayer, for me personally, you can't play it for more than 30 minutes, but I think I am personally the exception there. Maybe some of us are too, you know, watching this, that engagement optimized and skill-based matchmaking is just, it tires over time, right? And another one, for example, Lissandro Flores was like, I was in Div 5, I think I was a 15-0 player. Like, what's going on here? Also a thing too, people are making new accounts, but is there that many people making new accounts to where many people in just my small channel's comment section are reporting that Div 5 is a wasteland of sweats right now? It's like, that's kind of hard to believe. So I don't really know. I don't know what to think. I was surprised that, because my comment section, I feel like we are a lot more like level-headed, I think, than some communities are out there. I was surprised to see how many people were literally like, yeah, I think something's broken. It's not even just the fact that the game's not being played that much. So there definitely could be something up right now. I don't know for sure. And talking about engagement optimized matchmaking, Zach says here that yes, it was EA who created engagement optimized matchmaking. There's no way EA would not implement EOMM in the cash cow that is FIFA/eafc. And that's the same argument though for DDA, right? Because they have the patent for dynamic difficulty adjustment. Would they not use it in their most popular cash cow game? I don't know. We don't have any proof it's in there. I don't even know how you would prove that it's in there. EA say it's not, and what more can you do at that point? But them implementing EOMM, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And then Division Rivals would become just a shit show, because it'd almost be like ranked playing COD, where there's a hidden MMR ranking that determines matchmaking, not the division that you're in. So hopefully that's not the case here, because that would suck massive dick, but we'll see. Matthias says, I can't eat food anymore without watching this this or Shark Tank. You need to upload more. I'm hungry. How many of you right now are eating? How many of you spent this video, you grabbed a plate of food and you clicked on this video? Because God help me, if I eat without YouTube, I don't know what I do. I don't know what I would do. And Kevin here says, hopefully the open world can be applied to pro clubs to find free agents or clubs to play for. I wanted to bring this up because we talked about the open world yesterday and I shit on it because I'm just like, I don't think it's going to be that useful and they're fixing and working on the wrong things. You know, I think we all kind of can agree to that. I don't want to sit here and say there won't be any cool things about the open world. I'm sure there's going to be some cool stuff in there. I think the first year of 2K, it was actually pretty well liked in the community, that it was just something cool and it felt big, like the game felt bigger almost in a sense. I'm sure there's going to be some cool things in there, but when it comes down to it, I think it's going to get tiring really quickly. The novelty will wear off quickly, and I think it's going to be more of a burden after about a month than anything else, and maybe they'll do some cool stuff with it. I'm sure they got something planned for it, considering it's going to be years in development, so you would hope maybe that's going to be more polished and stuff like that compared to their other new features that they add into these FIFA games. But so I don't want to sit here and just say it's going to be awful, horrible, terrible idea. It could be fun in some ways, but I'm sure it's not going to be a thing that's like, oh yeah, we'll fix all your other problems and do this. It's like, no, our other problems, like delayed gameplay and bad servers, whatever you want to say, are going to be thrown to the side while they work on an open world shit, so it doesn't matter anyway. So I just want to make sure I'm not permanently being a pessimist, because I know that I am a lot of the time. But yeah, sure, there's probably gonna be some cool things in there, but I don't think it's gonna be, I mean, why are they working on this, man? I don't know. But hey, thank you all for listening and being here today. I appreciate you all so much. Love y'all. Servers on. Peace.